Yes. Good morning. Happy Tuesday and that. Happy Premier League final eve. Obviously, that's the big thing that's coming out this week, which is tomorrow. Looking forward to today because later on today we'll have the Pep Guardiola press conference. So we'll get to find out information, hopefully, on Nathan Ake. And see a little bit of insight into the game tomorrow. That's coming for you at 2 p.m. So make sure you subscribe with your notification bell turned on. But first things first for today is more transfer news. Gvardiol, someone that we know quite a lot about because we've been linked to him quite heavily. But then it kind of died about a month ago, didn't it? This Gvardiol stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of just reignited out of nowhere, but full send mode.
Yeah, it's it's come from Sergio Fernandez, who is a journalist for Relevo. So that's who he works for, and he's come out yesterday and said, first of all, that Aymeric Laporte is not happy at Manchester City, believes his time in the Premier League is ending. 28-year-old is not comfortable with his role in Pep Guardiola's squad and is eyeing a return with a clear objective to play for Barcelona. He goes on to speak about some other teams that will come out in a few moments. But then he says, Manchester City have all the confidence in the world of signing Josko Gvardiol this summer, and selling an existing member of their defence is a great incentive in favour of reaching an understanding with all parties. So what's going on here, man? Because this is so weird because it, as you said, about a month ago, this completely sort of died down. And it was we thought, obviously, with the way Ake had been playing, we thought maybe Manchester City had sort of reassessed the situation with the centre-backs and maybe would go for a backup rather than buying someone that's going to cost you the best part of 80, 90 million quid.
Yeah.
However, obviously, this news coming out again that says Man City are entirely confident of signing Gvardiol. And to be fair, up until last month, all the rumours, all the news that was coming out at that time was that Manchester City were in for Gvardiol, that he was going to join Manchester City, and he'd been liking Manchester City posts on Twitter and Instagram, and everything was like, wow, this looks like it's going to happen. Then it's out of died, but now it's sort of come back again today. So I don't know where I am on this. I don't know where I am.
I wonder if maybe City kind of held off a little bit. We know it's going to cost a lot of cash. There's a lot of cash for Gvardiol. It's going to cost you like 800 million euro, something like that. So we know that's a thing. We know that's probably a minimum as well. But maybe with Ake getting injured, maybe Pep's pushed it and been like, look, this is what happens when Ake gets injured. We don't have no one. And Laporte goes, then we don't have no one again.
Oh, that is a very interesting comment because it's very interesting how this news is now coming out.
Timing up, isn't it?
It's coming out now when Ake's injured. It's like, oh, maybe City have actually no, we actually do need to.
Yeah, because maybe Pep's saying I can't run this system now properly, and if Ake gets injured and Laporte's gone, I definitely can't do it. So maybe he's saying, yo, you need to get me someone else who can do this role as well. So they're going, right then, we'll go get Gvardiol, someone who will challenge, probably more like challenging Akanji, because you could have a back three of Ake, Gvardiol, Diaz, or Ake, Diaz. Do you know what I mean? You could run that and then have your John Stones who inverts. You could that's something that you could still do, and that's a quality back line still. I know obviously Akanji as well in there. Do you know what I mean? I feel like replacing Laporte, you get the quality if you go get Gvardiol. I rate Gvardiol highly. I think he's worth over 100 million euro. No, I don't think players are worth that, but that's today's market. I think it's a smart deal from City.
Yeah, I think it's smart. It's just
Cash.
I'm just surprised.
I'm surprised.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Yo, I've got a couple of member chats coming in here and a couple of super chats. So I'm gonna go through these. MXD3 says, hi LB, do you reckon we can get Jude Bellingham, Kovacic and Gvardiol in one summer, and how will Pep use them to fit in his style? The answer to that question is yes. I do think we could get them all. Me personally, I think Jude Bellingham will sit next to Rodri and join the attacks, and Kovacic will probably be a rotational player. And Gvardiol, for me, Gvardiol comes in the summer, he starts on the bench. This is why I'm surprised that we'd be in for him, because I start next season with exactly the same defence as we have now. Which, by the way, puts to bed the assumption that I have an agenda against Akanji, which is not true. Because if I did have an agenda against Akanji, I wouldn't have just said what I just said. But yeah, so if we do get Gvardiol, he starts on the bench for me.
That sounded like only someone with an agenda against Akanji would say.
Well, if I had an agenda, I would have put him on the bench. There's just a myth going around. But, so that's why I'm surprised we'd be in for Gvardiol, because it's a lot of money for a player that, in my opinion, should go on the bench. Yeah. I'm not saying he stays there all season. See, if he comes in and does well, maybe he will knock out Ake. Maybe he'll knock out. Maybe we'll replace him with Akanji. Maybe Diaz will be replaced. Who knows what would happen? Who knows? No one knows. But whatever happens, in my view, no one in that defence, Ake, Diaz, Akanji, or John Stones, none of them deserve to lose the place to a guy that's just been signed.
I think it all depends on training, won't it? Like when they sign him, it all depends on the training and him leading up to the Premier League season. I think it'd probably start with the defence that's finishing this year. Do you know what I mean? Because it takes a while to usually get into Pep's system. I don't know whether Gvardiol will pick that up straight away if that's something. But yeah, I think he'd have to get embedded in. But once you're embedded in, I mean, it is a thing. It is a thing that it's nice to have that strength in depth. Obviously, we do have strength in depth centre backs now, but losing Laporte, replacing that with someone of Gvardiol's quality is great, and it sounds mint, but it's a lot of money.
Ray in the chat put, LB, some of my best mates are Akanji.
Oh my god, that is funny.
That's a good one, that, Ray. That's a good one, that, mate.
That's quality.
Big up to Lord of Trexia with the 5. Says, someone needs to explain to me how Barcelona are planning on affording to buy half of our squad again. Yes, so not just you. Someone needs to explain it to me.
Yeah, but, I don't get it, man.
I don't see them signing anyone with cash. I mean, if you look at all the players that they're in for, Gundogan, Aubameyang, they're in for Firmino as well from Liverpool, apparently. The common denominator is they'll be able to get all these players on a free transfer. So
I just don't get it, me. I don't get it, man. Like
I don't think they'll be able to afford anyone. Why? How would they be able to? They can't afford Bernardo Silva, but they can afford Laporte. Now I know Laporte would be cheaper than Bernardo Silva, but it's not going to be that much cheaper.
No, but also they can't even afford to register their own players that they've got that they don't have to afford put a transfer fee to. I don't get it.
Well, apparently they've got to sell 3 big players. I think we discussed this actually a couple of weeks ago on a stream. They've got to sell apparently 3 big players because they need to sell because they need to get money in terms of like transfer revenue. And they need to get some wages off the book. So they need to sell players. So I don't know, because obviously it's a bit weird. I find with Barcelona, they're that fucked that no one really understands what's going on. So like you don't know what's happening because no one on Twitter is sort of like telling you what's happening. You just sort of find out, oh, they went to court and lost the case. Like no one actually knows what's happening. But from what I understand, from what I can see from fairly reputable accounts, is that they need to sell 3 players, get money in, and reduce that wage bill by quite a lot as well. So whether City can go hunting at Barcelona, get some of their players, there's a few players there that I'm sure we'd all like. And you might be able to get them on a decent price because they're sort of desperate to sell. It'll be interesting to see if City do go there. But yeah, you're right, Achexia. I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to sign anyone. So to be fair, the Laporte thing, I did say I'd go through it, so I'll get it up now. He also said, Sergio Fernandez, the journal on this, said AC Milan, Juventus, Newcastle, and Athletic Bilbao are all wanting to get Laporte into the side. So it does appear that there was going to be a few teams involved in trying to get Laporte, and he's going to have a lot of suitors. And I think, like I said on a previous stream, I think Laporte will be sold at a ridiculously low price because he's not really played that much money. And therefore, I think that he will definitely leave. Whereas Bernardo, I still think City are going to demand a fairly decent fee for him.
Yeah, I reckon you're looking like 30 mil for Laporte, which stinks. That stinks because he's still quality. So to sign
the good news is, bro, if all them teams are in for him, it'll probably be more than that because you'll get a bit of a bidding war.
Yeah, that's true. And then if say one of the potential destinations like Newcastle or something like that, you'd like to think that we charge more to a Premier League side.
Yeah, PSG,
something like that. Like if they got cash, you need to rinse them for the cash. I mean, they do it to us, so we're in the driver's seat. Then we need to be doing that. Darcy, yes, Darcy with the $10 says, boys, think about it. Gvardiol should be able to play in that Nathan Ake role as well as centre back. Yeah, that's true. He plays left back / centre back. So it's like two birds, one stone. You're basically getting someone else who can play that. That's what I was saying before. Like, that's why I think it's quite strangely timed with Nathan Ake getting injured, almost like Pep's going, you need to go get me someone else who can do this. And Gvardiol is, when you look out there, quality centre backs, he at the moment is the one that I'd be looking at who can do that Nathan Ake role or would be able to do it. Appreciate Super Jet Darcy. Space Cake with the 2 says, need Lavia this summer or are we losing for good? Yeah, if they get relegated, I don't know what the situation is, man. Because I feel like he won't stay there if they get relegated.
Not a chance. Someone will pick him up.
He's too good. I seen him against Arsenal. He was mint against Arsenal as well.
Someone will pick him up. Yeah, and
hopefully
maybe we will go back in for him because, you know, this Calvin Phillips thing is taking just more, for me, just a worse and worse sort of story every time we play a game. How he didn't start against Sheffield United, that's really shocking for me. That sort of tells me a lot about what maybe Pep feels about him.
Well, Pep came out and told us what he feels about him, and then he said that he ain't there yet. Like he's not. And
people need to remember the guy's been injury free since November. We're now in April, and he can't start a game against Sheffield United. Come on, guys. Yeah, I mean it.
Yeah, I think there'll be strong interest from City and Lavia. Like we've heard, City are going to make a call on Calvin Phillips this summer to decide whether they keep him or get rid of him. And we heard that ages ago. Now, as we're going forward, he's still not played football. I think signs aren't looking good for Nathan Ake. I'm always the guy as well saying, like, first year, innit? Everyone gets a free pass for first year, but it doesn't seem like the club are interested in doing that of any sorts, especially because, like, you've got such an important player in Rodri. He needs rest, but we can't give him rest because Calvin Phillips just ain't ready.
Now, to be fair, I thought when he come on against Sheffield United, in my own opinion, I did think his movement was a little bit better.
Yeah. He looked like he was on his toes a little bit, not flat-footed.
Yeah, people can say, the game was coming to an end, but I thought he was, like you say, he was on his toes. He was moving around a little bit more. I did think his movement was better, but ultimately, I mean, if he can't start in a semi against Sheffield United, I just think, when is he going to start? He's been injury-free now for 6 months. Now, having said that, maybe Pep's like, just writ off this season. Maybe he's said to Phillips, look, you're not playing this season for me. You're not ready. Let's go again next season. Let's have a full pre-season. Let's get you in the team early. Let's get you minutes early on next season. Let's go from there. But I just don't think it looks very good for him. So we'll have to see what happens in the summer. I think right now, if you said to me, is he staying or going, I'd just say 50-50. I genuinely think...
I think it's 50-50.
In my opinion, I think if a club comes in and says, we'll give you 30, 35, 40 million for Phillips, whatever, I think it'll be like, yeah, go.
Yeah, if the club came in and basically said, cut your losses, like, well, you know what I mean? Basically just said, like, look, we'll give you the money that you paid for him. I think City would take that. Because there will be clubs out there who are looking at Calvin Phillips' situation and going, you know what, he can do a job for us. He might be doing it at City right now, but we know there is quality in there somewhere. Like, he's just not had the chance to show it at City and he's not been able to get into this Pep system. Like we spoke about West Ham and stuff. It just the West Ham one seems perfect. Do you know what I mean? Declan Rice goes Arsenal. They go get Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
It seems like the perfect move.
Yeah, no, I agree. Big up to Robel as well, says Gvardiol.
Joe Vardiol. Just going it.
Yeah, Gvardiol is perfect Laporte replacement. He probably is. I like Gvardiol. I think he's a good player, and I think I would like Gvardiol at Manchester City. I would. But I also believe that he shouldn't start at Manchester City until he basically wins the shirt for Ake or Diaz, which, based on the current form, fucking hell, if Ake's playing like this and Diaz is playing like this next season, what's Gvardiol going to have to do next season to get in front of them two?
Well,
so he's
or a Kanji.
Or a Kanji. I feel like Kanji's less likely though because he's on the right side, isn't he?
He plays more the right back role kind of thing than
So I think that's I mean, he might do, but I think that's more unlikely. So
I don't see him dislodging Diaz.
No, he's not going to dislodge Diaz.
That's what I mean. Like, Diaz is untouchable for me, so He's looking at one space in Nathan Ake.
Yeah, so we'll see in it. We'll see. Tom, we do play 100 games this season. We do play a lot of games. And we do need a strong player. It's just
that's a good point though, isn't it? Because I've said as soon as we got rid of Cancelo that Ake instantly became pivotal in our season. We're very fortunate that he's only just got we've only just got an injury to Ake now, because he's so important to the way that this side plays football at the moment. Hence why we're all sweating about tomorrow, with Ake not being in the side or not looking likely to be playing tomorrow. So having a quality backup, and it's two birds one stone. Like I always say, it's a quality backup for that, and he can play centre back as well.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Or just move Ake to the right and Gvardiol gets in. I don't think it's that easy with that position.
that's not going to work.
You're not going to play Ake as like the right back / centre back.
No, that ain't going to work. But yeah, I mean, let's keep our eye on it. I mean, at the end of the day, we know we're probably going to sign a centre back, because if Laporte leaves, which he's pretty much nailed on, we have to sign a centre back. So the fact that Gvardiol is linked with City, I mean, it could be true. We could sign Gvardiol. It's just I would just be surprised if we sign Gvardiol. That's okay. But we'll have to wait to see. But we're definitely going to sign a centre back. If we don't sign a centre back, that would be very dumb. Very dumb, especially if we're playing this 3 at the back system.
Yeah, because
you can't have 4 centre backs on a 3 at the back system.
And as well, you're getting rid of in quality like Laporte and not replacing him. I feel like that's an L.
Yeah, definitely. Big up Darcy with a 10, says LB, saw your preview with AFTV. Love the way you spoke on it with humility, not getting too cocky. Big up Darcy. Yeah. We've actually got a video coming out today, man. So make sure you stay tuned. Stay tuned to that one. That'll be up shortly. But yeah, big up, man. Big up Darcy. Right, cool. There you go on the Gvardiol news. City confident that they're going to be signing Gvardiol. So let's see what happens with that one. Because like I say, we are going to sign a centre back, surely. And Gvardiol's the only one that I've seen links. Have you seen any links to anyone else? Oh, Bastoni. We're linked with Bastoni as well.
Gvardiol and Bastoni, and the Bastoni one's like a £45 million deal, which is a lot more affordable.
Yeah. That seems more likely in terms of like fitting into our sort of squad and price range for the type of player we're going to be bringing in, right?
Yeah, because then you stick with his back four. Bastoni is 23 years old. I know Gvardiol's young as well, but then you're not signing someone for £100 million and not start. And then even £100 million probably doesn't get it. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's very weird, this Gvardiol situation. It's again another transfer saga, bro. That's adding to this pile of weirdness that's coming this year. The Bellingham deal is weird enough. This one's weird because it's in and out. So it's it's mad. But Bastoni is the other one. Bastoni is the other option apparently. We'll have to wait and see, though. I did not expect to see Gvardiol's name. I didn't think we'd be doing a Gvardiol video again. I thought it was it. I thought it was dead and buried, this.
Agreed. I thought it was over. I really did. But clearly not. Maybe there is still some links there. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Remember, press conference later on this afternoon. So make sure you join us for that one. It's going to be a madness. We've got a video coming out with AFTV on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Smash a like on the way out. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.